It's Don with Pa's Garden Journal. Glad to see you guys back. I tell you what, it's been a good, interesting year for my first year on YouTube videos and my channel, and I appreciate your support. I really do. It's been quite exciting, actually. But here we are again, and I'm going to title this one "Still Figging Around," because that's the first one I did last November. Was called "Figging Around." It was about pruning my fig trees and propagating the cuttings. Well, that's what we're doing today. So I'm out here right now just trying to take it all in and see what I've got to look at, what I've got to do, and work around the chickens and that kind of stuff. But I think we're ready to go with it, and we're just going to do some quick pruning this year. Not going to be too in depth. And I've got 3 trees to do. I'm going to show you on one of them what I'm doing because they're all 3 the same. And then we'll get over there and I'll show you how I propagate, and we'll go from there. I did the propagation last year on, I think I had 5 trees, 5 rootings that I cut, and or 5 cuttings, let's put it that way. And I gave 1 away. 1 died, and the other 2 or 3 I've still got. They're coming up, and they were doing good in the summer. The leaves have since fell off here as we're getting into the fall. And so I think we're doing good, and I'm going to do a few more just to see how they do, and then we'll go from there. I may make a whole hedgerow of fig trees. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. So just stay with me and drop me a line there if you got some questions about what I'm doing and what's going on around Pa's Garden Journal. Glad to have you with me, like I said, and appreciate you. Well, it's that time of year again, here late November, right around Thanksgiving, and it's time for me to prune back my fig trees. So looking at it today, this is my big brown turkey that I've got. Oh, it's probably good. A couple of branches are 6 feet tall. Most of them are around 5 foot. All these limbs that are sticking up. But so I'm going to cut it back to be in these 3 main trunks coming up. You can see from the ground there. But the rest of that stuff would be coming off. And what I cut off, I will use that to make cuttings to transplant and put those, see if we can get some of those to take root like we did last year. So anyway, stick with me here and we'll get started with this. All right, we're going to do these things one branch at a time. See if I can get me in the camera here. I'm going to start with this 1 branch here coming out. The chicks are going to stay here to help me, I think. But we're going to prune this one down, this one over here down, and this one in the back side right here down. So what I'm going to do is just start with this one, and we'll go through this, and I'll show you what we do. First thing I want to do is just look at it. All this stuff here that's coming to the inside of the tree, I want to cut it out. Probably keep this long one right here that's coming up toward the aisle but not sticking way out in the aisle, and the other one on the other side, I may keep that. So we'll get down to those 2 and we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to take this one off that's sticking out into the walkway area. So we'll come here and cut that one off and get it out of the way for one thing. And then these smaller ones that are coming out toward the, sticking out of the outside of the tree, we'll cut all those off. And as we go up through here, this one is going to come off because it's going back toward the center of the bush. This one I want to come off, same reason, it's going to the center of the bush. I'm going to keep this one, it's still in the walkway area, and I'm going to keep this one, it's still in the walkway area. But this one here, you can see here's the walkway, and it's kind of like sticking right out into everything. So just come in here and cut this one off as well. Kind of hard to do with one hand. Now again, these smaller ones that are going down toward the center of the tree. And that will take care of that one bush branch there. And what I want to do to these is not leave them real tall. I'm going to cut them down about 2 feet from where they are, about half of what the size of this is. Between here and this end out here, I want to come about halfway, find a node that's facing outward, and cut it right above that. So that would put me right about here. So let's do that right there. I'll take care of that. Do the same thing to this one I left on this side. Get one that's sticking out, going out toward the end. And there we go. That one's, that trunk is done. I'll do the same exact thing to this big trunk here and this big trunk over here. And then I've got all of these sucker shoots that are coming up from the ground that we're going to get rid of all of that. And then after we get all that out of the way, I'm gonna excuse me, see if I can put down a mulch around here and pine straw and hopefully keep the chickens out of it. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, it looks like we've got the this one finished. And again, I've got 3 main trunks coming up from the ground. All the sucker shoots are cleaned out. All the side shoots are cleaned out. I left the 3 plus a new one right here to the side. That'll be putting out growth this year. And again, we do this because one, it just helps keep the bush healthy, but it's also the new growth is where the fruit comes from. Last year I cut it down to those three main trunks and left them about 2 feet high from the ground. I had some comments about it might be cut back too much. I had well over 80 figs off of this one bush this year. Put up 6 pints of fig preserves, and they didn't all come in at one time, and I didn't know that you could freeze them and really have good quality, so I didn't try that. I just waited till I got enough that I could keep there on the counter or in the refrigerator, and then we made some jelly out of it. So, but for this year, there we go. I got it done. All I have to do now is get the mulch put around it, put some pine straw on it. I may do that in a couple of days after the chickens settle down, or you decide to put them back up for the winter, and see how that goes. I've got 2 more trees to do. I've got another brown turkey like this one, and I also have an Olympian. So I'm going to prune those 2, and then we're going to do some propagating and cut up. Look at all the cuttings I got off of this one. And those are all 2 feet, 3 feet long. So we will definitely get some cuttings out of that, way more than I need. And see, we'll go from there. Okay, time to propagate. Hope you can see what we got going on here. I got my stuff set up here. I got my 2-inch pots, and I fill them with topsoil, potting soil, and I've got my cuttings that I just did a few minutes ago. So all I'm doing is I've got the angled cuts are the bottoms, and I've got those all on the same direction, so I'll know what I'm doing. And then I take the angle cut. I have my rooting compound, stick it down in there. I've already moistened these the pots here so they can the dirt won't be going everywhere. Knock that off a little bit. And it's really a simple, quick process. And It's remarkable when you really think about it and try it the first time. You're surprise yourself, like, oh, wow, some of these things do take root just by doing this. And then all of a sudden you've got a fig tree. And then all of a sudden you're trying your second year and you wonder where you're going to put all your fig trees. And obviously I did 8 cuttings this year to see what I could get to root. And goodness, I could have done 200 if I had somewhere to put them or what to do with them. I'm not trying to start a fig farm or a pick your own operation. Primarily, if I'd have done all that and put them back in my back pasture, I would have just been feeding the deer. But that's it. All we got to do now is just take these out. I put them outside. I leave them outside. I don't put them in a greenhouse. I don't have one. I kind of put them in a protected area. I've got a screened in back porch that temperature wise it still gets cold, but it stays out of the wind and rain for the most part. And I've got one side of it that gets really sunny, and I'll probably just sit them in there on the table and keep an eye on them through the year and see how we're doing. And that'll be it for today, and glad you joined me for this. Well guys, I appreciate you joining me, and again I enjoyed having this video done today. Again, like I said earlier in the video, it's been a year at my YouTube channel. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you following me, and I appreciate you telling your buddies about it. I'm not a professional by any means, if you can't tell already, but I love getting out and working in the dirt and doing a few things here and there that I can. And this Thanksgiving season, again, it's Thanksgiving week here in Georgia, or everywhere, I guess, for that matter. But I appreciate you, and I hope you guys have had a Thanksgiving, a good Thanksgiving. And I'll have more on that in our family traditions. I hope we'll be talking about that in upcoming videos. And but for today, again, thank you so much for joining me, and I appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.